Yeah, I am Julia Colby. I'm the Zoology Collections Manager at the Milwaukee Public Museum. We have a specimen that is a moose nose, just the upper part, not the mandible, just the upper part of the nose, and the moose leg on a plaque. And that is our strangest thing, I think. Where's the rest of the moose? Probably the most difficult thing to store is wet specimens. So there's some specimens, they don't taxidermy very well, you can't dry them. So we store them in fluid, typically ethanol, and you have to be very careful that the liquid doesn't evaporate, that the jar and the lid are correct, that we're doing the proper due diligence in storing a hazardous material like ethanol properly. I think the smallest thing we have are little tiny baby whelks, which are about 2 or 3 millimeters long. The largest item we have is I think it's the whale, the humpback whale on the ground floor. The most common thing that people say, oh, I didn't know that, is at NPM, you are seeing less than 10% of the museum's collections on display. There are 2 million specimens in the collections that I oversee, and 4 million specimens and objects total behind the scenes. So when you come to the museum and you think, wow, we've seen a lot of stuff, you have seen nothing. So in a museum setting, my goal is that this material will be around in 300 or 400 years easily. So I'm looking for real long-term strategies. I want to do the absolute most to do the absolute best, essentially. Teaching collection, maybe you have to account for that there's going to be some attrition in a teaching collection. And so you're looking for things that will keep those materials contained and preserved, but you also have to accept the fact that there's handling involved. And so you're not necessarily looking for the Cadillac of solutions. You're looking for something that does the job that you need it to do, but also allows you to easily use and handle that object, because that's that object's purpose. Yes, you can absolutely do storage on a limited budget. Something as simple as buying a box to store stuff in, that is improving your storage. And if that's what you can do that year, that's what you can do that year, and you've still made an improvement in your storage. I do see a big connection between my work and empathy for wildlife. Everything that I care for was once a living animal. None of them walked into this museum and said, I've only got minutes to live, taxidermy me. And so my care for them is care for that living animal. And my care for them ensures that that animal's capture and sacrifice is not in vain, that in 500 years, somebody will still be able to get something out of this specimen the same way they could the day after it was captured.